It is time again to Connect to Congress, a segment when we talk directly to Washington lawmakers that represent us here in the San Joaquin Valley. And right now we're talking with Republican Representative of California's 22nd Congressional District, David Valadao, live from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Congressman. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you signed onto a bill yesterday that is aimed at helping with labor shortages in the Valley. Can you explain to us what that is and how it works?
Well, it's the HIRE Act, and working with my friend from Texas, Tony Gonzalez. And the bill's a pretty easy bill. It cuts a little bit of red tape, so it allows for us to be able to do virtual interviews for potential hires on the visa program. And it also allows for the certification process to last just a little bit longer. So instead of just a one-year certification, it goes to a 3-year certification. So it essentially makes it a little bit easier for employers to be able to employ people. Currently in the U.S., there's about 9 million, almost 10 million job openings, and only about 5 million unemployed Americans. So we know there's a shortage out there, and we know that there's demand. We just have to cut some of the red tape, and this bill cuts some of the red tape to allow employers to be able to fill those jobs and help us keep competitive on the world stage.
Also, the National Defense Authorization Act, that passed on Friday, including provisions that would impact Valley residents. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the NDAA bill, the National Defense Authorization Act, is a bill that affects the whole country. It's an important bill. It's normally bipartisan, and again, this year is bipartisan. It's a bill that actually gives the largest increase in 20 years to our service members, and that's something I think was a big selling point. But it also authorizes all the spending on the defense front. So for us in Lemoore, it's a big deal, making sure that our resources are there, the Air National Guard there in Fresno. But it also helps with construction projects. As we all know, the F-35 program has moved into Lemoore, and we're continuing to fund projects there, and we're making sure that those investments move quickly and create as many local jobs as possible, but also making sure that we have the infrastructure in place to take care of our service members, improve their barracks and all other types of things that we need to make sure that our service members are taken care of as they're serving our country.
And you were also part of a bipartisan effort to reintroduce the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the Farm Worker Modernization Act is a bill that we've introduced the past couple Congresses. It's a bill that helps, again, streamline the process a little bit. One of the issues that we have with the H-2A program, which is the ag visa program that allows people to come work on our farms as a guest worker, does not allow for non-seasonal crops. So anything that has to do with animal agriculture like dairy, beef, pork, chicken, and even some of the processing plants, none of those qualify for the H-2A program, which is the only guest worker program that works for agriculture. And so it helps fill that gap. And again, it's another one that streamlines the process. It allows for permitting or for the certification process to work a little bit better, but it also changes some of the requirements. And that's a bipartisan bill as well. It's led by Dan Newhouse of Washington and Zoe Lofgren here in California, and myself and many other Democrats and Republicans across the country. It's a good bill. We hope that we can move it off the House floor soon.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. I don't know if you can answer this or not. What's top of your agenda going forward?
Well, right now, we've got a lot going on. Obviously, the appropriations process, which I sit on that committee, we're about 9 bills down. We should be done with 10 bills out of the 12. Next week, hopefully, the other 2. But before September 30th, we've got to fund the government, but we also have to pass a farm bill. And the farm bill affects so many across the valley. It's a big priority for me. And we're going to continue my fight on water. We hope that we can get my water bill off the House floor soon and over to the Senate and see where it goes from there.
All right. Congressman David Valadao, thank you for joining us this morning.